support, it's mamish a pikuach nefesh, and giving them a bracha.
I have to introduce myself and tell them who I am.
Yes, as if no one knows who
No,
you
but I
are.
should do it anyway.
Yeah, okay. It's going to be in big letters also. Before we show the presentation, it's going to be like on the, when it comes up to the screen, it's going to say Rabbi, Doctor.
Second, just want to make sure. Okay.
They're all in the evening session, so I can start off with good evening.
Yeah.
Let me shut up, but
Okay. It's ready.
now we're going to hold off a minute because there's a sound back there.
Yeah.
And then that's absolute.
Nice watch. All right.
Okay, whatever you say.
We clear.
You have to wait and see what Mendy says.
Thanks.
You
Okay.
got it?
Yep.
Ready to go? And this is rolling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Twerski, and it's my privilege to address a group that is interested in the problem of postpartum conditions. Truthfully, I'd really like to be with you personally and be able to share with you, because there really is nothing like a face-to-face communication. But difficult to be everywhere. So using this method of technology to try to communicate to you. The reason I'm so interested in this is because during my years of practice, I must tell you, early on, few people recognized the postpartum problem and knew what to do about it. Psychiatry and medicine were actually late in discovering this condition. And I have seen families ruined because postpartum depression and postpartum neuroses were not picked up and were not treated properly. I've seen the household fall apart, the mother suffering terribly, the baby not being able to bond with the mother because she was not in a position to do so, the husband not understanding what's happening, and people around them giving all kinds of ideas. It must be because the husband is abusive, or it's ayin hara. Nobody recognized the true problem. And so when I found that Sparks was launching a program to bring help to postpartum and antepartum, there are problems in pregnancy as well, right? So when I found that Sparks was bringing sources of information, of help, of guidance, of support, this is saving families. It's important to save every individual, but this is even more than saving an individual. It's saving a whole family and preventing them from the long-term harm of untreated postpartum conditions. So this is why, if I had the ability to do so, I'd be there with you tonight, but hopefully the technology will allow us to convey this message to you directly. I hope that you will realize as you hear the proceedings tonight the enormous importance of providing support for these women and for these families. And of course, these are expensive propositions. Providing such services costs a great deal of money, and many people who need the services cannot afford it. So It's a mitzvah of pikuach nefesh, of saving lives. And I'm sure you'll find it in your hearts to support this wonderful project. And especially because of the zechus of this great mitzvah that you will be doing it, you will have a brocha. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will bless you with all that is good, with good health, with arichas yomim, and with nachas in your children and grandchildren, and many, many simchas. Thank you for listening.
Beautiful. Perfect.
Perfect.
I can get you 3 minutes.
Are you really filming that?
That's right.
I'd love to be here in the Sparks Lunch.
That's right.
Beautiful, exciting women that we are. We're all here to support.
A little bit more to that side.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know we put a lot of demands on this congregation with all our emails and all our programming, and I just have to say from the bottom of my heart, I thank all of you for coming today, because I know as women we came together because we understand this to be a very important event for women. And I wanted to just explain sort of our initiative that we've been trying to accomplish over the course of this year. This is a fast and growing community, Congregation Edmund J. Safra, as most of you know, and we try to service the needs of a growing congregation and community. And one of the, I'd say probably the top thing on our list is chesed, or outreach. If you don't give of yourself and help others in need, then really I don't think you've accomplished much as a community. And I think, you know, we could give ourselves a round of applause. I think as a community we are accomplishing that feat. Each month we have taken it upon ourselves to do a hands-on chesed activity where we actually go and do something to benefit others. And it really was great pride that I welcome the organization of Sparks to join us today and to participate in our hands-on Chesed initiative. I met Esther Konigsberg and Mendy a couple of years ago, as many organizations do, came to our office, the Rabbi Batty's office and mine, to explain what they do and how they've come to help so many people in need. And immediately as a woman, I identified with their story. As most of you know, I myself am a mom of 5 children, and I have to say, thank God I didn't suffer from postpartum depression. Almost the opposite. When I had my children, I could ask my mother and my sister, they witnessed it 5 times. I was sort of like a very energetic, high-functioning woman. But the flip side of my story was the beginning of my pregnancies. For those of you who know me, I'm a very sort of multitasking, nothing seems too difficult for me to accomplish type person. And with each of my pregnancies, probably from the moment that I became pregnant, I sort of developed a whole new persona. I was always, thank God, very happy for being pregnant, and I was always in a good financial position, and I'm, thank God, in a good marriage. So there was nothing overtly problematic with me becoming pregnant. I was very happy when I found out each time. Yet, probably days after I found out about my conception, this sort of new personality overtook me, and I became almost non-functional and, depressed, anxiety-ridden, and afraid to even literally walk from this chair to that chair. If somebody would tell me, Elisa, you have to do me a favor and pick up chalot for me for Shabbat around the corner at the bakery, I would sit all day staring into space, practically terrified that I need to accomplish a task, that I need to do something for somebody. And you can imagine, as the more children I had, and they were very close in age, here I was pregnant with another child, needing to raise pre-existing children, be a wife to my husband, and a human being, I would say. And I really understood when people express that they're clinically depressed, or for no other reason other than what's going on in their bodies, unable to sort of do even the most basic menial tasks. And certainly you can imagine your family begins to unravel. I mean, I have to say, thank God I have a very strong support system. And, you know, even though, I mean, my husband is very, very supportive, I have to tell you this, and very intelligent and very much a man of the world, I don't even think he really understood what I was going through. And maybe in a sense I hid it from him, or I didn't share it with him because I myself maybe couldn't make sense of it. But thankfully I had an amazing mom and a sister, and I was able to sort of compensate by virtue of the fact that I had people around me who at least understood that she doesn't want to be this way, and you know, hopefully it's a temporary situation because it has to do with her pregnancy. But I can certainly relate to sort of your hormones taking over. You know, you don't want to be this way, you're happy. And I can only imagine sort of the psychological sort of impact. You know, here you are thrilled that you're having a baby and you're supposed to be the happiest person in the world and everybody's congratulating you. And if you have a boy, you're at a celebration a week later, and you just, there's something in you not making you feel right about what's going on. And I think that it's so important that as women, that we band together and we acknowledge that these situations exist, and that we support each other and make sure that every single person never feels that they can't go to anybody and express what they're feeling. You know, except for the man in the room, and we can speak amongst the rabbi, he's no stranger to these things. We women are very, very conscious of our bodies and what we go through each month. You know, and I'm sure those of you who are married always tell your husband, you don't know what I'm going through. You don't understand. You should only have hormones for 5 minutes. I've heard every expression, every line. You know, now they're writing books about it. Now women are getting together and talking about it. My mom would tell me years ago, people were embarrassed. You know, it was, what's PMS? That's, you know, these things.
Pre and post.
Pre and post, yes. I'm going to tell my husband, I'm going to take some progesterone, inject it in your tush for 1 minute, and you're going to see what I'm going through. And I think you all know what I'm talking about. We're very in touch with our bodies and very in touch with what we feel and experience.